He is wishing everyone a very happy Republic Day. Well, there's a new controversial audio which has come into light. Now, fresh uncertainty has emerged around the long pending India-US trade agreement after a media report claimed that leaked audio recordings of US Senator Ted Cruz shed light on political resistance within Trump administration itself. According to a report by Axios, Cruz, a senior Republican senator from Texas, told donors in private phone calls that internal opposition in the White House, including from President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and trade advisor Peter Navarro, was holding up a trade deal with India. Cruz reportedly said he was battling the administration to push the agreement through. While the authenticity of the recordings has not been independently verified, the report has drawn attention to the political dynamics complicating trade negotiations between New Delhi and Washington. India and US have been engaged in trade talks for several months now, aiming to address market access, tariffs, and supply chain cooperation. The negotiations took on added urgency after President Trump imposed an additional 25% tariff on Indian goods over New Delhi's continued Russian oil buy, pushing total duties on some Indian exports to 50%. These tariffs have raised concerns in India for the viability of a broader trade pact and added pressure on both sides to find a political breakthrough. Internal Republican divisions on trade are emerging. The Axios report also highlights deeper divisions within the Republican Party over trade policy. Traditionally, Republicans have supported free trade and lowered tariffs. However, Trump's tariff-heavy approach has created friction within the party. Cruz reportedly told donors that he and several Republican senators had earlier tried to dissuade Trump from rolling out the so-called Liberation Day tariffs imposed globally in April last year. Cruz warned that higher tariffs could raise consumer prices, hurt retirement savings, and ultimately cost Republicans control of both House and Senate in 2026 midterm elections. These comments suggest unease among pro-trade Republicans about the political and economic cost of aggressive tariff policy. Cruz's long-standing support for India ties is well known. Cruz's reported remarks are consistent with his publicly stated support for stronger India-US relations. During a visit to India in 2019, he described India and US as natural allies, citing shared democratic values, economic interests, and strategic concerns, particularly in countering China's influence. Also emphasized the political and economic importance of the Indian-American community, especially in Texas, which is home to more than 5 lakh Indian Americans, around 2% of state's population. What does this mean going forward? While trade talks between India and the US are continuing, the reported comments underline how domestic politics in Washington, especially internal disagreements within the Republican Party, could delay or derail progress. For India, the episode highlights the challenge of negotiating a trade deal at a time when US trade policy is increasingly shaped by political calculations rather than traditional free market principles. For the Trump administration, it exposes tensions between its protectionist stand and pro-trade versus